Hey, we're live.
I thought,
Yeah, we're live.
Uh,
Oh no, we're live outside with Richie in that Australian outback weather. Yes, we are live only March Wrestling podcast. I am Austin Pezhal, kind of running the show this evening. We got Richie Goodacre. How's it going, Richie?
yeah, not bad, not too bad. Uh, yeah, just on my mobile phone this evening. Because I'm getting sick of my computer. It's on its last legs. It's the old age. So look, I'm gonna replace it with a new model soon.
Fair enough.
uh,
Uh, yeah. Speaking of models, JPO is here. How's it going, JPO?
Oh, Vogue, Vogue, let the
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
Yeah, doing great here. Yes. Modeling for all the loose, insane asylum inmates.
Yes. So yeah, welcome everybody. Got some things to cover tonight. We'll be covering AEW Revolution, the pay-per-view watched over the weekend. So we'll be diving into all of that. We'll get into some news, some kind of bigger things going on this week. We'll dive into all the news and shenanigans. I'll just get the fantasy stuff out of the way real quick, and we'll get that done and gone. Just two shows this week, our usual SmackDowns and Raws. I'll just kind of briefly go over the point totals. Richie had the best week of all this week. Kind of 10 points for SmackDown, but 50 points for Raw. So nicely done there with your roster. So the El Grande Americano shenanigans helped you out there. You had some other things going on. So that certainly gave you a little boost there. But then you also had was it somebody in the like the main event? Bailey was in the main event, things like that. So a few things going on your end there. Ronda with 55 points. She had a good SmackDown coming out of there, which helped her out. I only had 25 points this week just for a Trick Williams main event on SmackDown. That's all I had. JPO had 40 points, so some decent week there. And so your updated totals as of right now. Again, a very, very tight race. It's getting even closer here on the road to WrestleMania. Richie, you're in fourth place, but when you see these totals, you're not that far behind from anybody. So you have 680 right now. Ronda has 695, so she's only 15 points ahead of you. I'm at 700, so only 5 points ahead of that, and JPO at 715. So literally from first place to fourth place, there's only a gap of 35 points. So that could change in a week. So anything could happen. I think it's getting really heated up going into WrestleMania here. So we'll see kind of where everything ends up. And WrestleMania should be a huge swing once we get there. So now just pivoting real quick to any of the rosters. Richie, you are in fourth place right now. You do have one roster swap available. So here on the road to WrestleMania, but it is up to you if you'd like to make any switches.
I think I'm all good. I think the Americanos is paying off for me for a bit, and I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna hold steady for a bit, and yeah, barring any injury. So
Yeah.
I will. I'll hold
All
off.
right. Hold. All right. Rhonda is next, and she is going to make a switch. She has informed me. She has one remaining because she did use two very recently, but she's going to have to make a female switch as Becky Lynch has posted her pregnancy photos. She is taking the time off for her pregnancy. She posted some Instagram stuff of her baby
Oh,
bump. So, yeah, she is pregnant.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she's like 2 months pregnant already. So, and she's already starting to show a little bit. So she is going to be out for the next couple months. And obviously, she's not going to be wrestling while she's pregnant. So she is. So Ronda has Becky on her roster, so she is going to use that final one and make a swap. And she has told me she will pick up Charlotte Flair. So that is her swap goal, Becky for Charlotte, who nobody has right now. So yeah, that takes care of that. And then we go to myself. I don't have any, so we'll have to skip over me. JPO still got three in the chamber. Have not used a single one here since we began. But again, you're still sitting in first place, so it's just a formality at this point. But if you would like to grab anybody, you're free to do so.
No.
No? All right. Well, look, you haven't been bitten by the injury bug, so that's a good thing. You avoided anybody getting messed up on your roster. So good picks there overall that held strong. All right, so that takes care of the weekly fantasy update. So we'll get to the actual news here. So a few things. We have one that's kind of late breaking coming out of Dynamite. Tony Storm was replaced by Mina Shirakawa on her Dynamite match with Marina Shafir. And apparently, this is according to Brian Alvarez, she is dealing with some kind of injury or injuries. And it has been reported that she's going to be out for, quote, a significant amount of time. We don't know for what or why, but she has basically been written off of television for the foreseeable future. So we don't know what's going on, but she is going to be gone off of AEW for a little while.
Yeah, I do wonder when they found that out, because they clearly were setting something up with somebody that we'll get to. I don't so yeah.
Yes.
But I don't know when they were planning to blow that off. But yeah, obviously Tony is one of the biggest women stars in wrestling, so it's a big, like it's going to be a big loss for a while. But yeah, hopefully speedy recovery. But yeah, it sounds like I guess it's a pretty gnarly injury if he's going to be out for a significant amount of time. So yeah, that sucks. But yeah, hopefully it's. I guess maybe it was something that happened over time, or maybe I don't know. It's hard to know. But yeah, best wishes to Tony Storm. But yeah, she's one of the best. So yeah.
JPO, any thoughts or speculations here? No, fine. I'm just camera.
Oh, sorry. That threw me off. Like I was messing up. All right, sorry.
Rhonda's walking in the background. I just turned the camera off when she. That's all.
No. It's just the timing of it. I was like, oh shit, I froze. No.
I'm still here.
No, just hopefully everyone's good. Time will tell us what kind of what's going on in the background. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, whatever it is, I hope she's able to recover. But yeah, all reports indicate she's going to be out for quite some time. So, it doesn't affect any kind of fantasy rosters or anything because we're not doing AEW right now. But that certainly would be a blow for somebody who I drafted very early when we did AEW last year. So, we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, we'll talk about maybe where they were going to go when we talk about the pay-per-view, because yes, somebody showed up on the pay-per-view that was setting up something with Tony Storm that we'll talk about, but we'll see if that goes anywhere. Now we'll get there when we talk about the pay-per-view. There was a lot of shenanigans with Ricochet again, getting himself into trouble on social media, shooting his mouth off. He's always kind of had a weird thing where he's trying to be like a heel online, but I think he doesn't know how to play a heel without being like an actual asshole online. He doesn't know how to like skirt that line like an MJF or something. So we had some kind of interaction that broke down into him telling somebody, I guess, digging into their profile and telling them, "I'm glad you got MS." Which did not go over very well. So yeah, that blew up and backfired on him to where he was forced to issue an apology, probably from AEW legal, before they get in any more trouble. But yeah, there was also a bit of controversy where none of the wrestling media outlets reported on the initial tweet. They only started reporting on him after he put out the apology, which was a little odd, especially since even like the Sun in the UK and like TMZ reported on the initial tweet even before the apology, which was odd, like non-wrestling journalists. So interesting stuff there. Yeah, we'll see how it kind of, if it affects him, as far as his television stuff. But JPO, any thoughts on Ricochet's social media shenanigans that seem to kind of gotten him in trouble several times over the last year or two?
Yeah, is this before or after Revolution?
I think this was like
just after,
like a day or two after, something like that.
Because I was almost wondering if this is why they were like, take the title off him in Battle Royal. But no, I guess it does not coincide with that. But yeah, he's not the first one. He won't be the last one. Just watch what you say on fucking social media. It's probably him thinking he's being smarter, funnier than he is, and it just kind of comes across as shitty. So yeah.
The exchange went down on March 16th based on this article, which was Monday. So that was post pay-per-view, the day after. Yeah. So just confirming that real quick. I had to click on an article to kind of get some more details. But Richie?
Yeah, I do think that, like, there's like a terminal onlineness, especially with, just with wrestlers and stuff. I just like, he's just like, because his reasoning was like, oh, sorry, I got riled up by the internet wrestling community, and I took it out, and I'm just like, I think Lance Storm was talking about. He has a good point. It's like, dude, they're rage baiting you. Like that, people are a bit. They're not going to say. They don't actually mean what they say when they say mean things. They're doing it to get attention, and you're taking it to heart. You'll take it to heart. Just don't reply to everybody. Get offline. Just live in reality. Just hang. Just you don't need to be on Twitter all the time. This guy's like Dave Meltzer too. Dave Meltzer replies to everybody who has an issue has an issue with what he says. Why? You know, I'm like, but I don't, because I heard conflicting things where it's like, oh no, AEW didn't force him to apologize, but they're glad he did. Well, I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense because apparently the post was up there for quite a while before he took it down and apologized. So clearly, unless it's like, his wife was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? So like, clearly someone talked to him, because it's not like he just had this, it took him a couple of days to have this, like, kind of a clarity moment. So dude, just, I don't know, like, why let people get to just live in reality, man. And then I don't know. And I know some people are comparing it to the, what MJF said on TV, but that's worked shoots. Like, people, he gets permission, he gets permission to say shitty things. So,
yeah.
The heel on TV, it's a bit different. And then just trying to be an arsehole. So, yeah, look, I don't know if anything like major come of it, but if he keeps doing it, then, if there's a more of an offense, then something will happen. But yeah. Just don't. I don't know, man. Don't just. I would just say, like, try not to interact. Try not to, like, reply to everybody on Twitter and on X or Twitter, whatever it's called, and just know that don't actually mean what they say. They're just trying to get a rise out of you, and you're giving it to them if you react the way they want you to.
Yeah, for sure. So one other person that will be off TV for a little while, it has been said that Hangman Page is going to be taking a little time off, not necessarily for injuries or whatnot, but he's going to be stepping away for a little bit. Probably just to he might have a few, like, kind of nagging minor injuries, but more so just to give him a break. He's been a heavy part of AEW television, obviously, for the last year or so. So I mean, he's been a workhorse for the company. He's been world champion. So well deserved time off if he takes a couple months, just to kind of recover a little time there. But I'm sure he'll be back for Wembley and all that jazz. So we'll probably see him back in maybe about 2 months or so. JPO, I'm sure is.
Wouldn't surprise me if he did have some sort of bumps and bruises or injuries from that match. Fuck me, we'll get to that. But Jesus Christ,
yeah, no, for sure. I'm sure JPO will be interested, and he probably even had in his notes. We have a release date, I guess, or premiere date for American Gladiators, featuring Rick Boogs and Wardlow as gladiators, and the Miz, and the Miz, right?
More.
Oh, is there more? I'm sorry, did I miss a few?
And more.
Okay,
you missed two.
Well, okay, I'll pass it to you in a second. But April 17th will be premiering on Amazon Prime. So for this new Gladiators reboot. But please, yes, JPO, fill us in. I'm sure you have all the details. Please hit us.
Just the basic deets of Miz is the host. He's not a gladiator, but he is the host of the most. Your gladiators who include Wardlow from AEW, the former wrestler Rick Boogs, and then the other former wrestlers. We got Jesse Goddard, formerly of TNA and Big Brother fame, and then Camille, big powerhouse Camille, for briefly in AEW, and then also NWA before that. So those, and there's another female indie wrestler too that's in there as well.
Is Camille technically still in the company?
I don't know.
And it's funny. They have a few of their gladiator aliases listed on the Wikipedia page, but most of them say TBA, so we won't probably find out till the first episode. Camille's is going to be Hurricane, so not the Hurricane like Shane Ellis, but Hurricane.
Stand back.
Yeah, and a lot of them just say kind of TBA. Rick Boogs is TBA, as is Wardlow. So, and then OVW, Jesse Goddard is known as Steel on Gladiator. So he at least has a name as of right now. So we'll see what names they kind of, kind of characters they come up with for them. So, it could be interesting. I'm an old school Gladiators fan. I have a t-shirt with the old school Gladiators logo on it. So I appreciate it for what it is. And then I guess there was that other kind of minor reboot in the late 2000s that they did. Yeah, with Hulk Hogan. So, it seems like just something they can kind of bring back every, 10, 15 years to kind of reboot with some new stuff.
Simple concept. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I think the one with in the 2000s had Nick Aldis, and I think there's some other one. There was Nick Aldis was one of the gladiators, and there was someone else, can't remember who it was. But there was other wrestlers are often used as
well, it had that Mike Odell guy, or is that his name? The guy who was on Battle Dome also, who had made some, one or two WCW appearances. He was kind of an actor also. Yeah, he was on there. A few crossover things, but we'll see kind of how that plays out. Should be all right. We've got Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania opponent. They're not going to leave it to just being unadvertised. They full on announce what it is with him and Obafemi, who has answered the challenge as most people kind of thought it would be, but he kind of manhandled Brock on there, and Brock has become John Cena as far as loudly yelling his spots in the ring, because boy did he step on me just yelling and stuff. But hey, whatever, it is what it is. It's a better
that crowd went bonkers when he hit his fall from grace. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, that I will say that is a WrestleMania worthy showdown. I think it is it's going to be a good showcase for Oba. Going up against Brock, he's probably going to get the win. In that one and look good. They were certainly pushing him as a star, and it's it should be a nice star making vehicle for him. JPO, yeah, Obafemi and Brock, it's coming.
Oh yeah, meaty meat.
meat. I like it. Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, I mean, they're pushing as a star, and it's working. He's getting quite over.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You never know with Brock, whether it's going to be a surefire thing that he loses, but he should lose. He's supposedly wrapping up his career here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that there's only to me there was only two kind of opponents that made sense in my mind for the open challenge, and he was one of them. We might get to the other one here in a sec, but that should be a good match. I wouldn't surprise me if it's not a squash, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's not too long.
It could be similar to the Goldberg Brock Lesnar match, the Survivor Series match, where maybe there's a strong start, but then Oba quickly kind of takes him over and just hits some big moves and kind of shocks Lesnar, because it wouldn't be the first time Lesnar's done something like that, with Goldberg. So it could be a similar situation. Yeah, I don't think it may go a little longer than that, but yeah, I don't anticipate it being more than 5 or 6 minutes tops. Being a fairly short match, I would imagine. It's not going to be a 20-minute match for sure. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. No. I don't know if you had it on your docket, but I thought maybe given that you're a referee, you might want to talk about the incident in
OVW. The OVW. Yeah, I almost forgot that kind of broke the day after we had our show. So this OVW incident with I think his name is Dallas, right? Do I have that right?
Yeah.
I don't have the guy's last name in front of me. But it was a spot, and I did see the actual spot where he took a cross body from the top, and
he took AJ's phenomenal forearm, basically.
Oh, okay. It kind of looked like a combination of that and a cross body, but it seemed like he landed the guy's forearm or something landed right on his head, the side of his head, when he got squashed. really hard, and apparently, gave him a concussion and some kind of like even internal hemorrhaging or something in his brain, to where he was having like a seizure in the middle of the ring, stiffening up and having the seizure, and they all got kind of screwed up, where people thought he was just kind of selling and he was actually hurt. It took a while for anybody to sort of do anything about it, and they were doing spots around him and pushing him off to the side. It was a big old clusterfuck. It was not good. And look, to me, I think they're handling the situation maybe after the fact has not been the greatest. To be fair, I've sold ref bumps pretty good to where people thought I was really hurt, and maybe, but the whole thing was I at least told somebody quickly, like, I'm fine, and then I'll kind of at least attempt to roll off to the side myself so I'm not in the way. I think the indicator here was that the referee didn't roll off to the side on his own accord, because
he also had a seizure with
referees. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was just, if it was just a spot, where he was selling. When I take spot like that and I'm close to the center of the ring, I will try to take it and then maybe almost deliberately, kind of roll away, just to get out of the way of, the continuing match. I at least try to make an effort to that, at least to try to be a little bit off to the side. The fact that nobody kind of at least whispered to him or second or tried to, kind of do something. Somebody at least from the side will sometimes come up to me and, check and make sure I'm good. I'll kind of give him a thumbs up or tell him I'm all right. It was a really weird situation. It's unfortunate that he had to go to the hospital, and he was in the hospital for a couple of days. I don't know what's going to come out of it. I know that the handling of it has not been good. But to me, I think some people were initially like, oh my God, all these wrestlers, they're just like, ignoring him. To be fair, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes if somebody's selling or not, but, initially, because he was just kind of laying there. But he could have been, in theory, selling the injury. But when he stiffens up and is having a seizure, that's when it's time to worry. It's time to let's do something about this now, So, I mean, the people being critical of kind of the late, adjustment to it, I that might be a little bit overshot in my opinion, just because it's kind of hard to tell if somebody's hurt or something until you actually check on them. But Richie, what are your thoughts on it?
It was just like, it felt weird because like the guy who initially hit him he did seem concerned initially, so I was like, oh, like he clearly, I thought he clearly realized he clobbered him quite bad, and then but obviously the guy, his opponent, couldn't see what went down, so he just went into a spot, and then he, instead of like going, instead of going, whoa, hang on here, time out, he kind of just continued doing the spot, I think. But I can understand, like, maybe going, oh, okay, well, maybe he's just selling good, we'll continue on. But then I thought there was like one point where there was that guy, one of the opponents had a clear view of the when the guy hasn't moved and he's in like near the center of the ring, and I thought one of the guys had a clear view of him like sort of twitching or having a seizure. Then that's when you're like, okay, let's we've got to stop doing what we're doing. And then like if someone's having a seizure, you don't roll them over and kick them out of the ring or whatever. That looked like, I know he came up with a statement, and I'm just like, I don't think it's bad, but just that doesn't look great. Like luckily he's because that could have done more damage in itself. Like, because you don't roll people on their front when they're having a seizure. It's it looked good. Even the commentators didn't look right, because like the commentator has a good view of the fact that he's having a seizure, and then it was just like, the commentator's just like, buddy, Dallas is not having a great night, is he? Oh man,
boy.
Oh man, oh man. And then he's like, oh yeah, and he it was like, he's moving his carcass out of the way. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude! Like the chick commentator, she kind of figured that something was going on. She was like, oh, someone help the ref. Like, I feel like there's something, maybe too. Like maybe at some point, if you see this seizure, and then maybe, and you can see maybe that they don't. Take off your headset and go, oh, hang on. Like,
yeah, somebody could at least lead, at least one person could lead their position and at least relay to somebody, hey, I think something's wrong, run down there, something off mic. Yeah. And somebody needs to relay, or, even then, yeah, when I've taken bumps, we've had somebody like one of the, we'll at least have one or two people like who people who take the jackets to the back, or like one or two of the security guards will at least like come over to me, and will at least like be like, hey, you good? Or squeeze my hand if you're good, something like that, some kind of indication that like I'm fine. But yeah, when the referee has not even made the effort to like, because even if I did something in the middle of the ring, at least after the initial sell, sometimes I'll like cover my head, but then start to kind of roll slowly, to the side to get to at least kind of get out of the way. And also in doing that, indicate that I'm fine, like that's kind of a subtle way to indicate that I'm fine. If I'm kind of, rolling off to the side or kind of moving a little bit, not too much, but kind of a little bit. There's ways as a ref you can convey that, but obviously when you're unconscious, you've had a concussion and you're going into a seizure, I'm not saying that at all. Obviously you don't have the control of any of your faculties at that point. But I'm just saying that's a good way for future for any wrestlers watching or people getting into the business. That's how you know if a referee's okay. If he's at least moving a little bit, they'll at least do a few little subtle things that they're okay. Having done spots kind of similar to that. So yeah, it's just kind of an unfortunate situation. I think there's a lot of young wrestlers in there who just don't kind of know the signs or had any experience, in that as well.
Yeah, a lot of the OVW roster are just young guys. There's not a lot of names on that roster, so
yeah,
they're just like kind of people starting out kind of thing. So it was sort of, and then I don't know, wasn't a huge fan of I guess Al Snow doesn't like, he's like a part owner, but he's like the kind of the bigger, the biggest name. So I think he was like, well, we haven't had usually we haven't had situation where something's gone through referees. We don't really have that, the product. Basically, the protocol wasn't in place or something. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't feel like that's. I don't know. I just felt like that statement kind of, rung hollow a little bit. But it is what it is. Hopefully they can come back from it. They'll probably have to take. I don't think it's a situation where, how the Raja Jackson situation that killed Rikishi's promotion, just the way that was handled. I don't think it's like that. I don't think this is that. I think they'll probably have to take a break, just wait for the heat to die down, and then they'll come back and do their shows. But yeah, and considering
that was an intentional thing. I don't think this was like an intentional thing or anything like that, and I don't think anybody was like trying to get the guy more hurt. You know what I mean? Like I don't think there was ill will, ill intent with the situation. You know what I mean? Like yeah, there were some bad judgments, but it's not like somebody was going there to kill somebody, or intentionally, hurt them more. You know what I mean? I don't think there was nothing like that.
Yeah.
From my indication.
And yeah, it's unfortunate. It's just an unfortunate situation, but yeah, and it's unfortunately, with the, obviously in today's technology world, like there's always going to be someone filming stuff, so you can't, you can't sort of, like maybe in the '90s, or whatever, you might hear about it through, maybe some dirt sheets or whatever, and it'll just be like, oh well, I'm glad that it would be an incident, but because these incidents, like they get put on video, then they go viral. It kind of makes it like so much worse as well. So
right, yeah.
But yeah, I think that they'll bounce back from it. But yeah, they might just need to take a bit of time off. But yeah, it's just a fortunate situation. But I'm glad he's okay.
If JPO's there, did you want to chime in at all on this one? Don't know if he had to bump off for a second. So we can come back to it. Yeah, I mean, just for future reference for anybody, out there who might be watching, who is part of a promotion, check on your referees as well when they take a bump, just to make sure. That's all. Just a quick like, hey, you good? Yeah, you're good. Just like you would with a wrestler if they took a scary bump. Check on them too. Referees matter. So all referees matter. All wrestling personnel matter. But yeah, regardless. So one other quick note before I'll pass it to you guys. Apparently, Braun Breaker is it's looking hopeful that he'll be back before WrestleMania. There's been some updates that he's recovering nicely, and they have a plan should he be able to. They're hopeful that he'll be able to jump back in before Mania, since we've had such a big gap here. From what I kind of read, they have a contingency plan should he not be available, but all signs are pointing to that he might actually be back within the next couple of weeks before Mania and be able to kind of get involved, in some storylines and whatnot, potentially with Seth or something. So, Richie, yeah, I'm sure you're hopeful that Braun. I know you already dropped him, but I know you're hopeful that Braun coming back before Mania. I know it kind of stinks in that you already kind of dropped him for somebody else, but I think just in general for Mania, I think it'd be for the best if he got back.
Yeah, I mean, I could always think. I'll think about using my last spot to pick him up and drop him for something and pick him up again. But yeah, it would be good because then you would in theory, no pun intended, in theory, you would build towards the match that I think they were going to build towards, which is Seth and Braun, as opposed to Seth and whatever they're going to do, contingency plan, possibly, I don't know, is it going to be like Seth and Logan again or something? So no, I think hopefully he's feeling all right, and they're not. Hopefully, they're not. I know they have a tendency sometimes with people with injuries and stuff, because especially if you're big, you're a big star or a star on the rise, they want to, they kind of want to rush you back out there. But I'm confident he's healthy enough. So, hope I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to him coming back. Hopefully he does come back before Mania, and we get to see that match, because I think that that's what I'd much rather see Seth doing.
Yeah. All right. So those are kind of the main stories I have. Richie, you got some other news items? Anything you want to throw out there? I know you're on your phone instead of your your computer, but I don't know if you jot anything down.
Yeah, I did. I thought this was kind of funny. Interesting note. Actually, an interesting note before I get to that. Apparently, it came out today or yesterday that when WWE was getting looking for buyers, getting sold, one person that was trying to buy WWE, Tony Khan.
That was never going to happen. Come on, we all know that.
That would have been very interesting. But yeah.
What's worse than Tony Khan trying to do everything in AEW and book the entire promotion? Tony Khan trying to deal with 2 promotions. Oh wait, I'm sorry, 3 promotions if you include Ring of Honor. Yeah.
Yeah. It's that was. I thought that was kind of funny. So I don't know. That would have been made the landscape a bit weird. TNA is in the business of signing young upstarts, and they recently signed a young upstart, Candice Michelle, to a contract. I'm not joking. Candice Michelle signed.
Why?
I don't. Hold on. You're not really telling the full story.
Okay. Well, let's let Richie give his thoughts, and we'll go to you for the rest.
But it's not the story. Fine.
I know. Well, he can just give his thoughts generally on Candice Michelle, and then we'll go to you for the actual details. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to go to you for your tidbits anyway, so you can get into whatever you want to get into. I got you.
That's fine. I need it anyway.
Yeah, you're fine. Good.
I just said I didn't really. I don't know the full on details, but I just saw like it was her and was it Carlos Silva like in the room, and I think Tommy Dreamer's there, and she's got a contract. I'm like, and they're like, oh, she's signed with TNA. I'm like, I'm guessing not to wrestle. Well, she hasn't wrestled in a long time. But and I think she's just been interviewed by Chris Van Vliet. Actually, I haven't listened to that interview yet. But yeah. So yeah, I mean it's certainly interesting. So yeah, I know. We'll keep an eye on that. Maybe she's like, I don't know. JPO has more information about that. Yeah. Liv Morgan announced that her movie that she went off to film, a while ago, so Bad Lieutenant Tokyo, that's going to be in September. So check that out in September. Yeah, I didn't even know if I wasn't sure whether it was going to be a movie that was going to be in theaters. So I'm glad. I'm not entirely sure she's going to be like have much of a role in it, considering she wasn't away for that long. But
have we confirmed or denied that this is a sequel to either Nicolas Cage or Harvey Keitel?
I don't know, because the Nick Cage one is not really related to the Harvey Keitel one. It's kind of in name only.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be another thing. Yeah, I'm assuming it's
in Tokyo now.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's just following another bad cop in another location.
And will there be more penises and or very rapey scenes? Because those movies are fucked up.
Yeah, they're screwed up. Yeah, I just saw the Harvey Keitel one like a year ago for the first time.
I've never seen it. I just know he shows Little Cartel. That's all I know.
Yeah, well, and there's a very awkward scene where he pulls over like two women in a car and is making them do very lewd things to get out of the ticket. Yeah,
see, there's a scene with another scene that's very similar to Cage's one. So there is some eerie similarities.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. But beyond that, I think I mean could get to
that would be cool though if Liv Morgan was a fucked up, like, get out of the car. Like Liv Morgan's the fucked up lieutenant.
Because I just wanted to confirm, real quick. I know this is like a movie tangent, but Harvey Keitel in that movie is just credited as the lieutenant. He doesn't have like a name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then if you go to the Nick Cage one, he actually has a name. He's Lieutenant Terrence McDonough, I guess.
Sure.
So he actually has a name, but in the original one, he's just credited as the lieutenant. So for whatever that's worth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Other news. I know you're excited because of those title changing hands. Ren Sinclair is the new Speed champion. That's a title that still exists and should keep around.
I've got a great Ren Sinclair photo. Hold on, I gotta share this one. Keep going.
So yeah. And but yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, we'll talk about Randy Orton turned heel. We wanted Cody to turn heel. Randy Orton turned heel.
Yeah, I wanted it to be Cody, but I feel like the Randy thing's a little predictable. But and I think I do think it'll make for an interesting WrestleMania dynamic in that I think half that crowd's going to be rooting for Randy.
Yeah. I want to share my Ren Sinclair photo real quick, if you can.
Oh, okay, yeah, see, okay.
So if you could tell, she really liked my portable fan. She thought it was a very smart idea. And she's like, can I hold it? And I was like, hey, you can hold it with me. So
yeah. I'd be like, JPO's like, can I be your portable fanboy at ringside? I'll be happy to do that.
Yes. I'll cheer for you. And then Tavion Heights had to get in there, and Javon Evans. That's my buddy. That's not a wrestler. The second guy. I kind of wish I'd gotten. I love Ren, but I kind of wanted Javon because I can crop me and Ren. I can't crop me and Javon, but all right, it is.
That's a space issue there. That you can't quite make it work. There.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, shout out to her. I've liked her. She popped up in AEW a little bit from time to time, unsigned, signed with WWE. I think she's fun. She's got a future, I think.
Yeah, I like her. She's got a unique look too. She's got kind of like this. I like her. She's Maddie Rinkowski, I think, or something like that in AEW.
Yeah. flipped the last name to the first name and shortened it. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, good for her. I think that I know there's a new men's Evolve champion, but I can't remember the name.
All right, save it for me then. Save it for me.
Okay, leave it for JP. I'm sure he's got it covered. So just leave it.
I have the full note, not just half a note.
I just wanted to note back on the movie note that Bad Lieutenant Tokyo movie. I didn't know it was directed by Takashi Miike, the guy who did Audition and like Ichi the Killer, like the horror guy.
Oh, so it might be like fucked up fun. All right,
so that could go to He makes screwed up movies, so that could be get into like.
Is anyone since you're looking? Is anyone else in that of note?
I think so.
Lily James is the only other person I know of, so that's at least something. She's a name.
Is he the lead? Who's the lead?
No, the lead is a Japanese actor named Shun Oguri.
Oh, okay, well that makes sense. So
he is in Godzilla versus Kong. I think he's, I recognize him. He didn't have a big role. He's the guy who tries to pilot the Mecha Godzilla, but gets like screwed up like in his brain when he tries to. But yeah, he's a Japanese actor. I'm assuming he's going to be the main character.
Right.
But yeah, so but yeah, Takashi is known for his like crazy violence and some crazy stuff. So that movie could get wild. Yeah,
Liv Morgan's playing like the kidnapped daughter. So hopefully she might. I don't know. She might end up, meet a kind of graphic end. Hopefully not, but given that movie,
I mean, who knows? I mean, the kidnap thing goes either way. She might get saved. Who knows?
It doesn't have a release date yet or for distribution, but Neon has picked it up, so Neon will be distributing it.
Right. Liv Morgan said in an interview September, but she didn't say like the actual the
gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. So that's. I mean, it's pretty. Yeah, we're pretty much got. I was just gonna. There was just, that segment that they're doing that mystery of like who was Randy Orton on the phone to. And I know that Dave Meltzer's like, oh, I'm worried it's Shane McMahon, and I'm like, that the Cody wrestling has more than one royal family was reference to the man's in the first place, so it wouldn't be them. But like, I don't know. And I think Brian Neville was trying to explain it to him, but he wouldn't. So it wouldn't make sense if it was Shane McMahon. I think it's just gonna be like Bob Orton or something. I don't know.
I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I don't know if it's gonna be as boring as Bob, but maybe. You can go a few different ways with it. Yeah, I don't know. It's Ted DiBiase. Oh no, wait, he might go to prison.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ted DiBiase is he's on trial. Right, his trial has just started for his welfare fraud case that he could be going to prison for buying a bunch of stuff with welfare money. That's not good.
When does he have his first day in jail? Is it after Mania? I think squeeze him in.
Oh boy, he'll get a leave for the court.
Can you put me in Monday the 18th or the 19th? I got a Mania booking.
Yeah, I need one more payday.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that'd be interesting. I mean, might not. Might not even be that anyone that. I'm trying to think about other families. I mean, it'd be silly if it was just like someone from the bloodline or something. I mean, that'd be a bit of a but
it could end up being that. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, we still have. Well, we're today at an even month of TV left. I was gonna say we have a month left, but about less than an even month now.
Right.
Next SmackDown will be less than a month of TV.
Yeah.
So we're in that final stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing, like if you watch SmackDown, Dr. Wagner Jr. answered answered Carmelo Hayes' challenge, so it's cool that AAA.
Was that this Friday or was that 2 Fridays ago?
That was it was 2 Fridays ago.
Oh, 2 Fridays ago.
I think it's a little late. Yeah.
A little late, but I didn't mention it last time. So.
Well, they did have that. Well, they did have that. That AAA show did happen. This past weekend.
Yeah.
And
the Reyes.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, Dominic retained his title over Vikingo. What else was going on that show? I saw a couple things. The War Raiders were on that show. Reyes. Yeah, I need to find
that
show. Almost has been popping up recently.
Yeah, Omos was involved in that main event. Yeah, he was interfering, and it was a no DQ match, so he was kind of interfering all over the place. And then
I do have I have a sad note from that event too.
Yeah, El Grande Americano, the fraud El Grande Americano won that 4-way. So he's now the number one contender for the mega title. So we could be getting Dominic versus El Grande Americano on the extra play.
Yeah. But I think Dominic is on concussion protocol because I think I don't know, there was a spot in the match where he got roughed up a bit, so I don't think they're sort of monitoring him at the moment. So yeah, he's had a rough go in the last couple of months, but yeah, hopefully he's all right. But I think they're just sort of maybe don't expect him to like kind of get involved in much action probably leading up to his match with, I'm assuming, Finn Balor at Mania, unless you do a tag thing. I don't know, but I assume it's just going to be one-on-one.
Balor and Danhausen, come on.
The Demon versus Danhausen.
No, not Demon. No, not versus. No, Demon with Danhausen versus Dominic and JD or some shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That would be all right. But yeah, pretty.
I'm very nice, very evil. He's just evil. Come on, the promos got themselves.
Yeah. I can't wait for Danhausen to run into R-Truth and R-Truth confuse him for Papa Shango. You know he's gonna do it.
Papa
Shango, I ain't seen you in 30 years, bro. Oh man, I knew you were still around somewhere. You know he's gonna do it. Like it's
Ronnie Truth. How are you?
Yeah. Ronald Truth. Yes, nice to meet you. Yeah, he'll call him.
There's a fun little YouTube thing of him wearing a shitty like bald cap and being Steve Housen or whatever. Call Steve. I'm called Steve. Got him. I got him. Like no,
Well, way back. What? Yeah, he sounds like the Penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I've got.
All right. Well, JPO, hit us with some more tidbits. What you got?
Yeah, I just got some quickies here for you. Sorry I had to leave for a minute. There was a Royal Rumble in my stomach, so I had to go eliminate 29 competitors. I think I heard you all talking about Braun Baker. Is that what it came in on?
Yeah, that he might
hoping
be back. To come back. Yeah, he might be back before Mania. They're trying to get him back before Mania. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, fingers crossed. That would be dope. You know, Braun deserves a Mania match if he's cleared. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Great news too. Hey, if you're wondering how long the Bellers are going to be around, we got them at least for a couple years, y'all. So if they do the full contract. As for Candice Michelle, so Richie did finally get to it here because you were like, oh, young upstart. She is signed as an agent. She's not signed to necessarily win the knockout title next week. She's signed as an agent. She was randomly in the crowd a few weeks ago too. I remember being like, because it's all like, here's celebrities and Candice Michelle, and I was like, that took me aback. But maybe that's she was in talks for the contract and signed for a minute.
They do that every show now. Like, hey, look at the celebrities in the crowd.
Yeah. Okay. I like it though. What was someone this week? They had a couple of cool ones. Or last week they had a couple of cool people. I was like, oh, that's cool.
But that's more of like a WWE thing that is like bled into TNA. You know, like look who's at the show this week.
Well, I also I don't know if it's just become a mandate or maybe they're like actually advertising it now to celebrities. But I mean, hey, if you have at least a couple of people, why not hype it? Like, hey, look, we're cool. Look who's here. You know. But even though she might not be winning the knockout title, she did say in that Van Fleet interview, I want to make a return. So we actually might see her wrestling soon. So as long as they're not overly booking her, I like her. I think she is one of the divas that did truly get better in like her last year or two there. Like I hated her at first because I hate most like women that got signed just because they're hot. You know, I want you to get signed because you have talent. But I do think she got better in those last couple of years. If you watch her like first last couple of matches versus like her first like few when she was green and shit. So I'm not against it if she puts in the passion, works. She worked House of Glory a few years ago, so possible we might be seeing her on TV. Kicking off of that, go ahead.
I was a fan of her before she went to wrestling because she did some adult videos.
Softcore. So
yeah.
Not that I've studied, but it's nothing too crazy. Just saying. But yes, she has appeared in some videos, and now she's a mother, and you're a horrible person, Richie. But
hey, listen, those videos last forever, so the kids, they want to try to hope that the schoolmates don't get a hold of them. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Dude, I saw your mom on Skinamax now. I don't think it's a thing anymore. But but some bad news coming out of AAA. Santos Escobar, who you might not even know is still with the company, but he's still with WWE technically. He got injured, and so he's gonna be gone for a minute as well. Let's play a quick game, guys, that I always love to play. Price is Right rules. All right. How much money do you think it will cost to get an exclusive bus tour experience with the one and only Cody Rhodes?
Oh, God.
You get a tour of his whole bus, and then he'll sit down with you from 15 to 30 minutes. How much money has Richie? Whoever wants to go first.
Now, what is this at? Now, what is this at an event? Is this at WrestleMania? What's the
Mania
weekend?
Of this? Yeah, so Mania weekend. Okay. I don't know how many tickets they're selling. It's probably limited. I do believe they're only doing like a few people at a time, so it is pretty like intimate. But again, it's 15 to 30 minutes. You get to Cody will you'll get a tour of his bus and he'll talk to you.
Okay,
maybe for 30.
I have a logic with this. Let's go $1,000 a minute for $15,000.
Okay, Richie.
Yeah,
do $1.
I was going to lowball it.
Okay, too high. Hey, listen, JP, you cannot blame me for going high with the TKO prices right now.
I'm not going to spoil it. Richie, give a real answer. Give a real answer.
Okay, fair enough.
I was going to say $8,000.
Because here's the thing, you're not like crazy off, Pez, and you technically would have wanted, Richie, $10K. They do want a good, smooth $10,000 per person again. So like if we went, that's $30,000 to hang out with Cody for 20 minutes probably. So
right, yeah.
Or not even, I don't even know. Like I said, they said 15 to 30, so like 10 of it might just be like you and like a tour guide. Not that there's much to see.
And then here's 5. Hey, you got one question for Cody. Make it good.
Yeah. Hi, Cody. Hi to you. All right, goodbye.
Here's your hi. Here's your picture in front of the bus.
I get a photo. True. I think you will get a photo. That too.
I would hope there'd be a photo included with for $10,000. I would hope. For that, he better give me one of his weight belts signed by him. Something.
I want a foot rub from Brandy. I want a lot for $10K.
I for $10,000, I would want at least like a ride around in the bus for a few minutes. Like, can we drive around the parking lot?
Yeah, like drive me to a nice restaurant. Like then
serve me lunch. Yeah, make it like a whole experience. I might be not that I would pay for it, but I'm sure somebody would be more inclined if it was.
If I'm crazy rich, I mean, I guess technically I would do anything if I was crazy rich. But let's say I was decently rich and I technically had the $10K. I would still want more. Like I'd have to be crazy duper dumb rich to spend $10K on this. Yeah. I wasn't. Go ahead.
It'd be annoying if you had like one question and you just blew it. It reminds me of remember that.
How's your day? Shit.
Now remember when that Simpsons episode where they Homer and Apu go meet those at the God of Quickie Mart? He goes, "Are you really?" Or the God something God? He goes, "Are you really the God of Quickie?" They have 3. He has 3 questions. It's like, "Are you really the God of Quickie Mart?" Yes. Really? Yes. Seriously? Yes. And that was like that.
Be smart with your time with Cody. Yeah. I wasn't gonna mention this one, but then they name dropped the company I work for, so I thought I had to mention this article. I guess Casey Lennox, a Florida talent, was trolling and having some fun at like meet and greets. She looks very similar to Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks, and so that made the news rounds. And I saw this one article on both E-Wrestling and Gerwig. Saying former RPW Women's Champ Casey Lennox, and I was like, oh, okay. So I felt like I had to mention it now because I do kind of get named. Well, not me, but my company gets name dropped. Yeah. So I was like, oh, good. I'm glad I gave her the women's title because that also was my decision. So that paid off years later. She was the women's champ like 5-6 years ago, but cool.
Okay.
New Evolve champion Aaron Rourke is his name. Been with the company, I think, since day one, as far as the WWE Evolve. Fun cat, tall, very flamboyant, colorful guy. So, I could see him definitely having a future here. With the championship. We definitely, I guess we can save it for later, but let's just say a match we figured was going to happen in AEW. Definitely happening. Somebody else that might be fun Mania weekend, Natty for Bloodsport, baby, April 17th. So we get a little bit more of a Dungeon Natty here. Maybe with Baszler. It's kind of the rumor going around right now. So we'll see.
I think they announced Pete Dunne's match as well. Like he's back on Bloodsport again this year.
Dunn's definitely there, which is great because we haven't seen Pete Dunne in months. We haven't seen Pete Dunne in months.
He's somewhere. Yeah. I guess he's still employed with the company.
I'm just going to say bravo to that. Get it? Because it's the gimmick. Anyway, unless he's Ryo. Who is he? I don't really remember. I forget who's who. Was he Bravo? Did I make the right joke? Good.
Ryo.
Oh, oops. Either way, tomato, Ray Romano. And last but certainly not least, before we get to some of the AEW talk, the Oscars didn't give him no love, but god damn it, the star of Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny, and other things, Rocky 3, no Hulk Hogan love at the Oscars, which I'm not surprised by, actually, pretty much at all. The dude hasn't made a movie since 92 or whatever, so a real movie anyway.
Well, I did have one thing, I guess this may have been just announced like today or something, but wrestlers in movies and or TV. This Sunday night, do you have CBS or can you have access to CBS, JPO?
I got Paramount, I suppose. So yeah.
Well, I suppose maybe it might the next day. Maybe you can watch it. Chris Jericho will be on Tracker this Sunday night. The CBS show Tracker. So Sunday 9 p.m. An episode called Breakaway. And all he tweeted out.
The Supernatural guy show, or is that something else? Well, who's Tracker? Who is the Tracker?
Is Tracker the Supernatural? Maybe
is Tracker the Mark Ruffalo show?
No, it is Justin Hartley, Fiona Renee.
Oh, okay, Justin Hartley. Yeah, he's This Is Us and amongst other things. Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, so anyways, yeah,
I'll watch that maybe if I remember.
That show is been doing okay. But yeah, he will be the main baddie on that episode of Tracker. So nice. JPO, you can watch. So he would not a incident. He literally said in the tweet, "Stoked to announce I'll be playing the lead bad guy on this Sunday's episode of Tracker, the number one show on network TV, nice. I guess supposedly, but whatever." But so yeah, he'll be actually a big part of the episode. So there you go.
Outside of his podcast, I haven't seen Jericho in months, not on our TV, so that's cool.
So there you go. A little wrestler, at least close enough to wrestlers in movies, similar enough.
Yeah. And I did miss the diatribe earlier, but just to chime in real quick. Yeah, OVW, do better. That could have been handled so much better. Here's the thing I wanted to ask Pez. Hey, Pez, you take a bump, right?
Yes.
Are you not rolling to the apron or on the outside?
Well, no, we talked about that little bit, is that I will at least, if I get hit close to the middle of the ring, if I'm not already kind of off to the side, I will do the thing. You'll see something where I will, cover my head, whatever, and gradually start rolling a little bit.
How does it
Yeah. No, I at least roll to the ropes, close to the ropes. Sometimes if I get hit near the ropes, I'll full on roll out, to the floor, something like that. Especially if I'm not involved with the finish or anything like that, I might even make an effort to just take a nice spill to the floor or something. But yeah, I will at least roll close to the ropes so that I'm not the center of attention in the middle of the ring. You know what I mean? Right.
Well, and also just to not center of attention, also just to not get fucking hurt.
Yeah, not get hurt. Yeah, and those guys will still have they still have their space to do their thing, and I'm not in the way.
Yeah, because that's my most egregious thing is that the dude that fucking picks him up dead weight style and shoves him with his foot.
But I also said
not tell. Hey, why is Dallas still in the middle of the fucking ring?
Well, that's another good indication they should have picked up on that he was legit something wrong, because any other trained experienced referee would know after a bump to start gradually getting out of the way.
That's what I'm saying. That's my biggest. There's a lot of there's few things that were done wrong. That's my biggest thing on the other wrestlers is you stop and pause and go, there's no reason he should still be in the middle of the ring. Correct. Something's obviously not right. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So that was my biggest thing of just come on, you pick him aware. It's happened before with Alex Reynolds, the wrestler, who they were kind of wrestling over his dead body, but it could almost make sense if that was the spot. Here, you should be able to tell right away. No, this dude.
I was even watching. Malcolm and I were doing No Way Out 2001, and I know we even reviewed that on this show. But there's a spot in the end in the main event where Big Show just comes in and lays waste to everybody, right? He chokeslams everybody, including Mike Chioda. And Mike Chioda takes the chokeslam in the middle of the ring, but immediately rolls over his stomach. And then as he chokeslams the other, you see him slowly kind of worming his way over to the ropes, so that when
almost
the rest of the referees come out to retrieve him, he's already by the ropes. We pull him out a little bit. He's out of the way. He's done.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Absolutely.
100%. And or they will take a bump. Right. A lot of WWE's bumps are designed. If he's supposed to be out for the rest of the match, they will do something near the ropes. You'll see Charles Robinson takes one and spill through the ropes to the outside, get out of the way, that sort of thing. So that's standard protocol for referees. They should know that. So yeah.
Oh, a bit tangent, but we don't have to go into it. But that Big Show spot at No Way Out, that led to nothing.
Yeah, no, we talked about that. Spirit from the past. Go look it up. We talked about it again.
A Big Show thing leading to nothing, you don't say.
Yeah,
That's like that dude's career. And I love and respect the Big
start.
Show, but I'm saying there's been several like unneeded heel turns, face turns, storylines that don't get dropped.
Especially
AEW
when
jack shit with them.
he's just the hardcore champion at the time, and it has nothing to do with WrestleMania because he's just in that three-way backstage. Like, it has nothing to do with The Rock or Kurt Angle on the show. Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, so stupid. But regardless of that, all right, so let's get into kind of the main event this evening, if you will. Let's talk a little AEW return to pay-per-view, I should say, this past weekend. Sunday night, same night as the Oscars. Damn you, Tony Khan. You're in Los Angeles, and you hold
Don't you know some of us are wrestling movie nerds?
Come on. We like both. We like wrestlers in movies. We like movies. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop with the crossovers. So yes, I like the show. Went past midnight for us on the East Coast. I think close to 12:30. For us on the East. So not untypical of AEW, but still, we're always begging me and you, JPO, for those that nice middle ground, man. You had 8 matches booked, and then you just had to add more. Like a week before, it's like,
I think we jinxed it. I think Tony Khan was done, and then he heard us say that's good, and he went, "Oh, it's good, huh?"
Yeah.
People who say because I've seen people online. People go, I can't believe wrestling fans who complain about too much wrestling. I feel like those are people who don't have like a lot on in their life.
I had to work the next day, bro. I got to wake up at 4 a.m., bro. I don't want to be up till 1 a.m. watching wrestling.
I'll even do the fun counter argument. I don't have much going on, but I can still say that it does wear you thin. And just same with the movie. There's a certain limit, and especially even on a Sunday in general, even if you're not working the next day, I feel like Sunday still has like the vibe of like, let's wrap it up. It's Sunday night.
Yes, like come on, people. It's the work week. We got things to do. JPO, if you're booking, JPO, if you're booking RPW, especially an indie show, you can't go too long because like people are only going to have so much patience by the end of the show. That's why you want to hit that like 6-7 match sweet spot.
I think I tried doing a 10er once and I regretted it. Yeah. On paper, I'm like, because I think I kind of feel like Tony's just like trying to be nice and like spots for everybody. Like everybody gets a roster spot, on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But you're hurting your show in the end for that. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think you can, especially on a pay-per-view. Like I think they could do 8, maybe 9, but and then like a couple pre's. But like this 13 is, you're stretching.
Yeah, you're stretching.
But then Keith Lee's like, "Hey, is there a spot for me?"
Sorry, buddy.
Keith Lee, Camille. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what's the Hurt Syndicate doing? They're still disappearing people.
Yeah. We had 13 total matches. We had 3 pre-show matches. We had Boom and Doom, Big Boom, AJ, and QT defeating the Infantry. We had Willow Nightingale defeating Lena Cross to retain her TBS title on the pre-show, which of course would lead into a match later on the main show. And then your main event, if you will, of the pre-show was the aforementioned Ricochet putting his national championship on the line in a battle royal, which we could talk about. That's the only one I want to talk about for the pre-show. The other two are
I'll only say this. I did not see Wayne Brady getting physically involved on my bingo card. No.
Oh, right. Yeah. I think we all had the same thoughts when we were watching this. We were like, is this a reverse battle royal? Why is nobody in the ring whatsoever for the first 10 minutes of this match? What the hell is going on?
What is with Tony Khan? Just like, I swear he's the kind of booker, and I've had this fight too locally where it's just like, what if we do this? And it's like, there's kind of sometimes a reason to do things because that's dumb. That's why we don't do that. Like, why? Why did everyone organically agree to be on the outside? That makes no sense.
Yeah, you're 10 minutes in the match.
Finally, organically agree to be on the inside. Yeah.
Yeah, and it made it difficult because you don't know who's eliminated and when. You don't know who's in the match, who's out of the match, who's still brawling even after the match. That sort of thing. It wasn't until we got down to the final 4 or 5 people that you kind of knew sort of what was going on. Because I think it came down to Jack Perry, Ricochet, Ciampa, and Juice. I think so.
That sounds right.
Your final 4 or so. But yeah, I mean, and then once you got down there and they had eliminated a few people kind of officially, it kind of got best to business. And yeah, Jack Perry ended up taking the win there, which I may have predicted had I remembered it was like his hometown, essentially, like LA.
That's true.
I forgot about that.
I don't feel like that was really ever advertised, told the post-show scrum of him being like, by the way, I grew up coming here, and like,
I came to this arena like once a year with my dad.
This was done for a reason. Yeah. This was definitely done for a reason. I don't think anyone of us knew. So
no, y'all go ahead if you got any thoughts on this one. This is the only one I thought was of note that had interesting stuff going on.
Yeah, and it technically is a pay-per-view match. So
again with that, can we knock that nonsense off? Stop.
Once was cool. Twice, all right. 3 times, like, dude, what is your new gimmick?
Dude, stop. Like you don't need to do this every show. Stop.
It also off your own supply.
It also screwed up our pay-per-view opening match predictions because we didn't have pre-show match.
Told you, Pez. This was the opening match. We had to fight on this for like a while.
Bullshit. FTR was the first opening bell of the pay-per-view.
If you count that, Pez gets the bonus point. If you don't count it, then he doesn't. So
well, but then I reminded JPO by the end, and it didn't matter because Richie won the predictions anyway, so it didn't matter because we both screwed up because. We both screwed up because we had a lot of the same predictions across the board, except for you had Takeshita and he lost, and I had Hangman and he lost. So we both lost to Richie, and then Richie ended up winning out anyways. So that didn't matter.
But yeah, the only issue I had at the end of the match, why did Jack Perry go from for a power bomber from the inside of the ring to the outside of the ring in a battle royal? That was a fucking dumb spot. Like, what were you hoping to achieve there? In order to execute the
Cry me a river.
In order to execute the move, you had to put both your feet on the floor. And I realized that, and he gave up on the. That was dumb. But yeah, and then I mean, Jack. I mean, it's cool that Jack Perry won a title, but I don't care about this championship at all. There's too many belts. So, I mean, good for him. I'm sure they're going to feud over it for a few months, and maybe someone else will enter the fray. But yeah, cool.
This was it was fine. It's a battle royal. The other quick notes is Leo Rush kind of making his return. I guess he's a demon now. It was like Gollum.
I thought he was doing a cosplay. You guys have seen Bloodsport, right?
Yeah. No, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, there's a little black dude who acts like a drunken monkey in the fights. I thought he was like doing that. It was weird because he was just like crawling around on all fours.
I don't think it's that. Well, no, I think he was a weird demon. He's got weird contacts. She showed a nice photo of him backstage, and he looked demonic. That's what it reminded me of. Is he was like goofing around and he's crawling through people's legs and jumping all over. But just being weird. I don't know what this gimmick is. He doesn't have enough TV time for me to know what it is. I don't know. I know. Yeah, I thought he was teaming with Action Andrade, but that might be done with another kind of quick flash in the pan. He's had a weird on and off AEW career for a while anyway. Fired, quit, came back off TV because there's nothing for him to do. Tag team, nothing for him to do. He's a demon. I don't know. I like Leo Rush though, another guy I've worked with, and I hope well for him, but we'll see how long this lasts. I still, I would have just made this a singles match. I still think this is kind of a weird whimper of a win for Jack Perry to win in a battle royal, especially because this was a feud. Like, this has been a feud for weeks. You know what I mean? Like,
even if you had to include, you could have made an argument to include Champ in there and make it a 3-way, and I would have been fine with that too, because we didn't have any 3-ways on the show.
That would have been true, but I think even organically that would have been weird because Champ has been all about the TNT. Like, what's he got to do with Perry? And I just feel like this was a feud that could have been actually blown off. Like, instead we just Battle World have a bunch of more people.
No, I don't disagree with you. Yeah, I would have preferred some kind of smaller match rather than 21 goofs like
at least for a title change. Yeah, and like I do think it organically is weird. Like, this should be part of Ricochet's promo if he hit cuts
or even if you did the thing
was he
where
supposed to do that match,
or if you even did the thing where you had the battle royal here without Ricochet, have Perry win it and then blow it off on Dynamite and have a one-on-one match on Dynamite, like promote that for Dynamite. Like, hey, Jack Perry's getting a shot. I know it's not in LA, whatever, but like that would have been a good like Dynamite like. Hyped up match that of direct consequence, like something like that.
It just feels like a weird booking decision.
I think what it is like what you just said is like Tony Khan's nice and it's like, hey, let's have a battle royal, and so that like 20 of you can get a payday. There you go.
Yeah, get a nice little payday. Yeah, which again would have been a nice money saver too.
Yeah, for sure. And then your first official match on the pay-per-view for the AEW. Speaking of tag teams, the AEW tag team titles. FTR defeating the Young Bucks, and what I thought was a pretty awesome match for the most part. Maybe one too many sort of crazy kickouts near the end. I thought some of them were like, really, we're kicking it out of the TK driver, we're kicking it out of Spike top rope pile drivers, a few too many of like, okay, let's tone that down a little bit. And my only other nitpick, literally the first three matches all had like the fire up after a 1 count spot, all three of them, which I feel like should be a thing where like that's where you have those pre-show meetings where it's like, hey, we're gonna do the fire up after a 1 count. We're also doing that. Oh, we're also doing don't do those
pre-show meeting, or at least have agents that talk to each other and go, oh, you're doing the thing, no, I'm doing that, I figure out okay, well, one of us is not doing that, kind of thing. That's not enough reducing an agents talking to each other.
We've even done those meetings at indie shows where we said we've gone over at least the finishes so nobody has the same finish, or like, hey, we're gonna do a superplex, nobody else do a superplex, even stuff like that, like sort of.
It's very at the very least, like you could do like okay, hey, my thing's a top rope elbow drop. Anyone else doing that? Oh, I was gonna do that in the middle of a match. Well, don't do it in the middle of your match. It's my fucking finish. Cool, done.
Right,
and like also at the beginning, be like, hey, I'm gonna jump in before the bell. Anyone else doing that? Okay,
don't do that.
They're not doing that now because they're doing that. That makes more sense.
Hey, we're gonna do a table spot. Nobody else do a table spot. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like something.
Are you brawling in the crowd?
Right.
I mean?
Yeah, even brawling in the crowd to a degree on even on an indie show, you don't want to do too much like brawling into the chairs in the crowd sort of thing. Like you want to do that.
Yeah, well, not multiple matches. Yeah, the whole point is to save it and make it special once.
So
it's another AEW not enough talking to each other. It's like again. There's been the rumors that like kind of prove that like Tony doesn't delegate enough,
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like we'll get to like an issue. I think they just throw too much things at the wall where nothing like it's cool in the moment, like certain spots, but like it's like, well, like how are you going to top yourself? How are you going to top yourself the next time? How are you going to? It's like you're doing it. Fans are going to get numb to everything. It's just like things aren't going to feel special anymore. So I don't know.
That's why we've come now to the one count kick out, because now we've done the whole 17 finishers won't finish them. All right, now they won't even give them a 1 count. Like, we are kind of running out of things.
I mean, but overall, still, I thought a very good match. And again, too much blood in too many matches. Did we need blood in this match? Not really. I didn't need whoever was Nick Jackson or whoever, getting bloody like early in the match. Because especially when you're going to have
it was early too, wasn't it?
Yeah, very early. Yeah, within the first 5 minutes. But again, especially when you're gonna have a Texas death match in your main event. Like I feel like it kind of takes away from the impact of the blood in that match.
100%.
So we didn't need that. Takeshita, I think, legit got busted open in that one, so that's a different situation.
Shit happens.
Yeah. I think he legit like got cut above his eye or something, which that happens. That's fine. Things happen, but did this match need it? No, but it's still a good match. These guys have great chemistry, and we got what we kind of predicted. Either they would get involved or would come right after. But yes, Christian and Copeland kind of coming out right after the fact and getting involved. And by the way, we also had like spread out your returns too. We had 3 matches in a row, also with like 3 surprise people coming out afterwards or whatever.
Right. The lights turned off 3 times in a row.
3 times during the show.
Loves lights out, and he loves pay-per-view debuts, returns. He really does love that pay-per-view shtick.
Yeah, I mean, we cram a lot on the show, but JPO, your overall thoughts on this and the Christian?
No, I mean, these two always have really good matches here. This might have to rewatch like the other ones. This might be my favorite of them. Like, it is a good match. 2 of the top tag teams. In fact, right now in the WWE Vault, they've been playing for like the last 48 hours. It's called Oops All Matches. It's the most random grab bag of matches ever. It'll go from NXT to WCW to a WWF house show to Mid-South. So it's crazy. FTR is on the match right now. That's the only reason I mentioned it. So I'm watching them wrestle again right now. They're fighting DIY. That's a great match too. But anyway, great match here. Like I said, the side qualms here, but in a bubble. Really good match here. And then they've already announced for Dynasty, so they are definitely indeed doing that FTR Cope and Christian match at Dynasty.
In Canada, yeah. So holy shit.
In Canada, yeah.
In
That's
Canada,
I feel like we're already less than a month away from that.
it's like April 12th or something. It's not that far away. Yeah, we're a couple weeks out.
Mania. Okay.
Yeah, it's. I think it's the weekend before Mania, so they're trying to get it in. Yeah, before Mania, get that hype. So, yeah, we'll have 2 weeks in a row. It's gonna be a jam packed week where we're like, hey, we're reviewing the AEW pay per view that had 12 matches, and we got to predict 2 nights of WrestleMania. So that'll be a long show.
Yeah, we might have to speed rush that AEW review.
Yeah, that'll be. We'll have to focus more on Mania.
Matches.
Yeah, for sure. That's fine, Richie.
And 2 Mania predictions too, not even 1 Mania.
That's what I mean. You got double predictions that night, JPO, with 2 nights, so we'll have to run them all down one by one. And those matter.
Well, is it a Sunday again?
Oh God, please don't tell me it's another Sunday. Oh, I hate the Sunday pay-per-views. Hold on.
Dynasty, that's what I have written down.
Oh boy.
Sunday, April 12th, baby.
Oh no. No, Tony, stick to the Saturdays. I like the Saturdays. I like Saturday pay-per-views. Oh man. So that's literally that's less than a week before Mania. That's 6 days before Mania, not even a whole week.
Yeah, the 12th, and we'll be live on the 16th, and then Mania's on the 18th. Yeah.
Ay. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Richie.
Yeah. I thought that the match was really good, but I wasn't expecting anything less. I like the Young Bucks entrance where all the family came out.
That's good.
Including the Young Buck brother that didn't become a wrestler. What's his name?
Wait, was Malachi there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was at ringside. He was the guy who threw the beer. He was the guy who threw the beer in his face and Dax's face at one point, I think.
Oh, then yes. Okay, now I remember. I thought you were saying he's like with the kids. Sorry, I just got confused.
But yeah, I thought the match was good. Great, and yeah,
I was picturing a bunch of kids and like the 40-year-old brother, like, yeah, me too.
He was off to the side of the kids. He was in the same row though. He was kind of off to the side.
Yeah. But yeah, a bit too many kickouts, but the match is still really good. Good kickoff. It looks like maybe they're also setting up if win the tag titles, Young Bucks will be their first challengers. So I can see Young Bucks. I can see Young Bucks beating them. To be honest, I don't see Edge winning the long run of the tag titles. It was a really good match, and yeah, I probably should have predicted that this would open the pay per view, or there's a asterisk whether it opened the pay per view or not. Controversial.
Well, I mean, I only picked that because again, I thought if they were going to do the Christian Copeland, there would be like a big pop at the beginning of the show, and I was right about that. See, that's what they're for. So, and it did. They came in, hit a couple of moves, did their thing, and there you go. So, they set up both kind of a Bucks thing and a FTR thing. So, we'll see that kind of play out. This next match, not so much about the match, more about the shenanigans afterwards that aren't going to go anywhere now because Tony's gone. But we could talk about we had Tony Storm, Rhea Shafir. Everyone banned at ringside, which I feel like didn't even really matter in this match either. But still, the match was fine, I guess, for what it was. I know JPO is not a big fan of like Marina's like singles stuff,
Whoa. Let's hold that back. I was just saying, people were like, "Oh, she's great now." Like, no, she's been well booked now because she's been out of singles, doing a lot of like multi-mans and just being the China of the group. I was saying, let's see how well she does. That's all I was saying.
Okay.
Are you worried Roddy delete your number? Or if he has it, I don't know if he has it.
Hey, no, fuck you, Roddy. You were too expensive to book, even when you were able to book.
And you didn't pay me, Roddy. So screw you too.
Fuck you, Roddy.
Gear shows.
I'm glad. Hey, my friend that was in that photo before, he's the one that stole your T-shirt from Evolve. So the
match was fine. For what it was. Marina did a lot of kicks and chokes and submissions, and it was what it was. Tony eventually got the win. It was more about after the fact. Tony's on the outside, kind of crawling up the ramp, doing her thing, and then we come back to the ring, and Ronda Rousey is in the ring, calling out, doing her awkward finger pointing that she still doesn't know how to do. It's really odd, and her stern face.
She was the monkey in Chris's closet from Family Guy, just.
Yeah. Ronda Rousey kind of calls her out. They have kind of a face-to-face thing, and then she and Marina both slapped the shit out of John Moxley going back to the back when they passed by him and getting ready for the next match. They both slapped the fuck out
I
of
almost
him.
feel like it wasn't planned, especially for Ronda, because Ronda laughed and she's like,
No. I think the Marina one was definitely planned because they've done that before, where she like fires him up.
No, I said I don't
face.
think the Ronda. No.
The Ronda one, I think she was like trying to improvise, and she slapped it too. And I think even Moxley was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, because he kind of sells it, and she kind of like giggles, like she kind of
I hate you. Yeah.
Didn't touch each other, but yet like fucking 30 security guards like, Jesus Christ.
yeah. I don't know. Ronda, I know it's mostly to, weirdly enough, promote that Netflix fight that Ronda's having with Gina Carano. For anybody who's aware of that, that's happening on Netflix, which is weird. Again, they're promoting Netflix stuff. It's not on HBO Max. It's on Netflix, so that seems a little odd.
That's a company thing. Gets eyes on your product, and it scratches her back, her back.
My side rant about that is that's the dream match we wanted like 10 years ago, not now, but with 37-year-old Ronda and 43-year-old Gina Carano, but that's the side tangent. Like I feel like that's it's a dream match 10 years too late, but that seems to happen a lot.
Gina Carano retired right before Ronda Rousey blew up. I mean, it's
that's what I mean. Like Gina was on the way out as Ronda was on the way up, and they never really like kind of crossed paths because Gina was in Strike Force doing that stuff, and she was like rising in UFC, and they just never crossed paths.
I was going to ask, is Gina even a UFC person?
Yeah, she never was. She was Strike Force. Yeah,
I wasn't sure, but I thought so.
No, they never crossed paths, and that's why they're doing it, promoting it as just like super dream fight now. But I feel like it's kind of. I mean, people will watch it because it's on Netflix, it's like the Jake Paul stuff. Like people are gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it for the fuck of it. Yeah, whatever.
No, I mean people will watch it because it's on that night, and people will tune in. Yeah. Hopefully, they get fixed their streaming issues because that Jake Paul fight had all kinds of buffering streaming issues, and everybody was watching that.
They should learn. Hopefully, I'll give them grace to learn because it is a new concept for them. Yeah.
It is also presented by Jake Paul's promotion MVP, the most valuable.
Hey man, it made a shit ton of money, got a shit ton of views. So Jake Paul's gonna keep doing that shit. Like now he's gonna be like, what other old timers? You know what I mean? Like, Floyd Mayweather, he's gonna fight probably at some point. Evander Holyfield, are you alive?
I feel like Floyd will happen because Logan already fought him and Jake hasn't fought him yet. So I feel like that will.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no, that's gonna be their gimmick. It's kind of like wrestling. Think about it. Yeah. How often are they like, hey, let's see Sting fight again? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like it's that new concept. Like, let's do it with MMA fighters now. Let's do it with boxers. Like, people will pay, people will watch.
And they are doing it with MMA fighters because I mean, it doesn't mean much to you, but like they got Nate Diaz on the card who's 40. They got or nearing 40. They got like Francis Ngannou who's a big dude, but he's nearing that age as well. Still like presence, but so
our point is, if you're not familiar with it, JP, these are all people who were like really big in UFC like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
who are not quite as big now.
I could pick Nate Diaz out of a crowd. I've seen his face in like matches.
Yeah. Well, no, it just seems like we got the people that were like really big a while ago, and like they're not quite as big now. We got to get we're grabbing them because their names.
You get them at a cheaper price. And they're available. What's Ronda doing? She ain't doing shit right now. You know what I mean? And hey, they can make money, make a good amount of money.
Gina got a settlement from Disney for that lawsuit, so she's not doing anything right now either. So not really acting. So yeah,
and they're not. And at least unlike Tyson, they're not too far out of the pocket. Like the match might still be good, maybe.
And Nate Diaz.
It's not the prime match. Sure, it's not the prime match, but I'm just saying it might be better than Mike Tyson. Is all I'm saying.
Probably.
Probably less fixed than Tyson. I think that. But that
no. But Jake held back so where they could have at least like a longer match. Jake could have killed him if he wanted to.
Yeah, Nate Diaz, by the way, who shows up in that trailer for the Theo Von David Spade movie Bus Boys, which looks.
Oh, okay. I vaguely was like, "Who's this guy?"
He shows up. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah. At the very end, okay. I remember thinking like, "That's not a comedian," but I feel like you're somebody.
Anyways, Ronda Rousey's back in wrestling, maybe because now that Tony's out, that might not go anywhere.
Well, also
So,
too, that
yeah.
match is 2 months away, the Carano and Ronda. So I can't imagine they were gonna risk her fucking up, Ronda fucking up an ankle or whatever,
Right.
before that match. So I gotta imagine this is gonna be just simply the first tease, and then like I wouldn't have been surprised if we were gonna see Ronda on TV for another month or two anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, fair enough.
Yeah, the match was fine. I don't really have much. The only controversy I guess with Ronda is because they the powers that be wouldn't let Trey Miguel sign because of some homophobic stuff, but they let Ronda in because back then she's previously she was previously a Sandy Hook conspiracy theorist who said all these like horror who would believe all these horrible shit, but it's just like I think it's at the end of the day, Ronda's a huge star. Trey Miguel,
Yeah.
I like.
No, it's definitely bias him of like, hey, no, this new indie guy, no. What's that? A huge star that can make me money for sure? Okay.
I'm more about the fact that Ronda did a whole bunch of interviews after WWE being like that fake wrestling, that bullshit. Like I hated wrestling. Like, and now she's like back in wrestling when it's convenient, for her to be like back on television
Convenient,
wrestling.
Make some money,
Yeah.
Obviously, I think her endeavors post have not worked out the way she had hoped. That book didn't do much for her.
I don't think she's a great person. I feel like because she's also going all in on like UFC, Dana White and pay and stuff like that. But it also comes after like she tried to she was negotiating with UFC about having this fight potentially maybe that White House car they're doing. So I'm like I mean like I feel like you're being self-serving. I don't feel like you're sticking up for the fighters. You're towing that that's your narrative because you're butthurt that that it's not happening at UFC. So now got this vendetta against Dana White. So now it's like it benefits you to be like, oh well, fuck, fighter pay and all that stuff. It's like but you wouldn't care if like Dana gave you the right amount of money or said yes to your match.
Yeah.
That's very self-serving.
Well, and you came back to wrestling, which you called fake bullshit for the right amount of money from Tony Khan. So yeah, right, exactly. I feel like that's more of just like a self-serving thing. But anyways, we're getting off track. Let's get back on track to the wrestling. We had a no time limit match for the Continental Championship. I feel like pretty much just done so they didn't have the 20-minute time limit because they just went a little bit over that, 23 and change. But for my money, Richie, might be my favorite match of the night. Maybe these guys beat the shit out of each other. It was fucking great. They beat the hell out of each other. I love watching Takeshita. He's great. He's one of my favorite guys right now. I feel like the guy just doesn't have bad matches. I feel like even Moxley's kind of stepped up his game lately. Ever since he dropped the world title, I think he's had better matches. Kind of in these mid card slots, like really just trying to like steal the show. If that makes sense, like just having these really good, just workhorse matches. They beat the hell out of each other. This is one where Takeshita, I think, got some real blood, but it actually, upped the drama, getting like kind of cut above his eye, things like that. Really good. Near falls. My heart would have liked to seen Takeshita, win some gold here. But I'm sure he will eventually later this year. Fucking awesome match. I loved it. And I'll go to you, Richard, for your thoughts about the match. But we had post match, the return of Will Ospreay, which I thought was quicker than I thought he was going to come back. That guy, must have been working his ass off in rehab because they played this video where it looked like they were like
a Frankenstein thing. It was like
it actually looked more like he was in the tank from like Empire Strikes Back, like the BAFTA tank. They were like rehabbing him. He came back. I'm glad he's back. But he hit some moves, kind of ran wild on the Death Riders. Did his thing, got a big pop. But I'm glad he's back because Richie, I miss his pay-per-view matches, man. That's one thing that I look for in the pay-per-view is whatever match he was going to have, you knew it was going to be great. So I'm glad he's back. You go ahead.
No, this match. I love they match up well together. They just beat the shit out of each other. It's great. It's John Moxley's in that stage at the moment where he's like, I guess he's a tweener, where it's like, he's technically baby. He's got he did a lot of bad things he's got to atone for, and then he can be a full-on babyface. It's hard to fully get on board. But I guess like Takesha's sort of the same way because he's still for the heel group. But so they're similar in a way. But yeah, like the just the way they beat the absolute like absolute shit at each other. But yeah, I mean this is where you get the one count where it was a top rope. It was a top rope Death Rider. He kicked out at one. He kicked out at one. I'm like, oh damn it! But yeah, it was still really good. And I love this match. I hope I wouldn't mind seeing Kesha win the main belt at one stage. I think he'd be cool. That'd be the champion. I thought this match was really well done. And I don't know where Moxley goes from here. Maybe I don't know. Like, does Ospreay really need that title? Probably not. I feel like he's probably gonna head towards MJF, but maybe in the meantime he goes to Moxley and beats him. I thought maybe like one of the Death Riders actually, they didn't beat Moxley. Which, by the way, we didn't mention that Claudio has actually signed with CMML as well, so he's on a dual contract. It's but it was really, really good, really, really solid match, and I always look forward to what do these guys do. So it's probably one of my favorite matches on the show.
Yeah, JPO, you there? No, okay. We'll come back to him. We'll move on. We had honestly one of a couple of matches I thought, Richie, that could have been saved for like Dynamite or something. I think you could have trimmed this down, a few matches. We had this Babes of Wrath match follow up where they lost the women's tag team titles to, I guess they have a name now. They're Divine Dominion, Megan Payne and Lena Cross. But I actually thought they look great as a tag team. These two kind of giant Amazon women, I think they have at least a similar kind of look and a vibe, for what they're doing. And so I'm interested to see where they go from here, as the champions. But a match, it was only like 5 minutes. I mean, I feel like you could have trimmed this and saved it for Dynamite and a couple of,
Not to like toot my own horn, but it went the way I saw. I was like expecting Willow to, retain her title, and then I'm like, oh, they're probably going to attack her and I'll factor into this match, and that's what happened. But like, I think they played too much on it even before the match in the segments where it's like the doctors, they're in the doctor's like, oh yeah, I'm cleared. Oh, but can you go? And she wasn't confident. And I'm like, oh man, so they're definitely going to lose. Like they're making it too obvious. They're gonna, and even like in the video package, like Harley Cameron said that she, would kind of didn't want to face them. He's like, oh, they're big bitches. But yeah, and then pretty much, like they had a couple of hope spots there with like like pounce and stuff like that. But yeah, like it was never. Once it got going, it felt never in doubt. It's probably like one of those things where I think Megan Bay and Lena Cross probably match up better as tag team than there and Penelope Ford. I think Penelope Ford would be a good like manager or like someone if you need for a 6-person. But I think the tag team should be, going forward, even if they lose a tag title, when they lose the tag titles, should be Megan Bayne and Lena Cross. I think they're, I think you don't see. I mean, you're seeing, and there's a few around now, but like, it's been uncommon to see like big, huge Amazon muscly women. So, and they're a presence. So you know what, and look, it might be of my interest as well. I'm not going to say that.
Fair enough.
I'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing them like maybe have a feud for the Brawling Birds, which is another tag team I really like. So but I'll see what happens.
We have another match where the two guys just basically beat the hell out of each other with Swerve Strickland and Brody King wrestling in what was almost like a no DQ match. I mean, they did everything they could to like work around the fact that it wasn't a no DQ match, but because they were like, we're pulling the ring mats out, we're doing spots on the concrete, we're doing spots around the ring post and like the metal of like the the turnbuckles, we're doing stuff around the tables at ringside. We did damn near everything except actually use weapons in this matchup. So a couple of scary stuff, both the black hole slam on the concrete and the vertebraker on the concrete. I went, oh god, please, Jesus. That was scary. Luckily, the vertebraker spot ended up being a fairly easy. Turn it over into kind of a back bump. Didn't like do.
But the black hole kind of took the wind out of Swerve because he was like, you could tell. Like,
I'm sure it did because you're still taking a back bump on concrete. Yeah. I mean, what? Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. They beat up each other pretty good. Yeah, ended with Swerve hitting him with a couple of house calls and putting him away. I kind of wish Brody, would kind of get some kind of bigger push at some point. It seems like he's always like Richie kind of teetering on like the main event spot. He just can't quite like get over into it. He's had like, a championship match here, some big thing here. I feel like he kind of may have peaked with him and Bandito, that kind of tag team that came out of nowhere and sort of took everybody by storm last year. But I don't know your thoughts on that. It seems like he's always kind of on the brink of it, but can't quite get there.
Yeah, I feel like he's sort of like this sort of gatekeeper, if you will. Like maybe where like it'd be cool if he got like a huge a good win, but like I bet it's always in he's always in situations where it probably wouldn't make sense for him to win. Like now, like Swerve's just becoming like just become heel. You need momentum. Yes, they're doing a thing. They did a thing on Dynamite where he's going to take on Kenny Omega again, and for his EVP spot. It's going to be an interesting storyline if he comes to EVP in storyline in story. So, yeah. By the way, I mean, I was going to rant about this before, like a couple weeks ago, but like obviously, I think the initial plan was Swerve and Kenny at the pay per view, but Kenny had commitments. He's done this before. Like, no, show up to work.
Like, brother, you're under contract to AEW. Get your ass to the pay-per-views. Get on television. Yeah, it seems like he just takes these random hiatuses where he just leaves for 2 months and then he's just not there anymore. And then he just comes back and he's back in the main event and then he's gone again. Yeah, it's weird. What are you doing, bro? Yeah.
I know. I think he was in Japan, like doing the Street Fighter thing. I'm like, no, but like, like Swerve and Kenny Omega's a pay-per-view match. Go to work anyway. But yeah, like the match itself was good. I like how like caught off guard, like the fact that Swerve like hit a house call almost straight away. Like, oh shit.
Well, and really impressively, one or two of the house calls that he did, Richie, was while Brody was standing up. A dude got some air and hit the house calls. Like Brody wasn't on his knees, like they usually are. Like I feel like he did some like standing house calls, which I thought was really impressive because you got to get really high. Brody's he's a big dude. He's a tall guy. So I feel like that was impressive.
Yeah. No, it's no. I thought it was a good match. They beat the shit out of each other. It's it was fun. I like Prince Nana was having fun being a heel outside the ring. But it's still. I think his music now is his music new again. I feel like it's different than what.
Yeah, I feel like didn't he like the last pay-per-view he had a different song. Now he's got another song. Yeah, but I mean they're both like kind of slower, sort of hip hop songs. That match like the heel vibe. A little more. That is what I mean. I love the non-dancing. I still miss it. But I did love when Prince Nana, like in Ring of Honor, was like the embassy. Prince Nana, like the heel manager. And he was fun. He always had a good time. Kind of when he's like managing Jimmy Rave, things like that. So I always appreciated that. So we'll get a little. Maybe we'll get more of that especially if Swerve wins and like. They have EVP power. I could see like Prince Nana using that to like, screw with people, a little bit, and kind of play around with that. I feel like they could do some things with that a little bit.
Here's a weird trivia. Did you know Brody King had Hulk Holly's one of Hulk Holly's last matches?
Oh no, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember. It was some indie, but yeah. Brody King and Hugger Holly had and then beat the shit out of each other. So you can find that yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll have to see if there's stuff with that or footage of that. We had 2 out of 3 falls for the women's title. Tekla taking out Chris Statlander. A match I thought was like pretty good, but kind of heatless. I don't think there's a lot of like heat going into this. Chris is kind of flailed a little bit ever since she kind of lost the title last year, but they're very high on Tekla right now, and she is cool. She's unique in what she does. A good match, but again, it was a lot of these were long, 17 minutes, for this, 17 minutes for the next one. This is where I felt like the show was starting to kind of drag a little bit, and maybe the crowd was starting to get tired because, even though there was only what number match on the main show? 3, 4, 5, 6 match, but it was overall the 9th match. And when you get into that territory on any show, because we include the pre-show with that, crowd's going to start getting a little worn out. 9 matches is pushing it.
Yeah, even during, I think it was some point during the Brody, it might have been during the Brody King, the Swerve Strickland match. Tony Schiavone was like, gushing about the match. He's like, "Oh, we've still got 7 matches left." I'm like, fuck.
Oh god, yeah. I know. We got to a point in the show where I think Jacob was even telling me, he's like, "Oh, well, there's only 2 more," and I went, "There's 3 more. There's another trios match," and we were like, "Oh god damn it!" Another just to get to that point where you're just like, "Oh shit, how many more matches?" It just is what it is.
Yeah. So I think when you do a show this long, there's always going to be that one sacrificial lamb sort of match where that the crowd are going to be kind of dead. Unfortunately, it seems to always be the women. But yeah, I thought this match was decent. But yeah, it was. But like, it could have done better with more heat to it. But yeah, I think they were well. I'm looking for. Yeah, I like Tekla. I think she, I hope she has a big reign. But I feel like maybe I liked when when Chris Statlander was a heel, but she never actually. I think that they never she was a heel for a couple of months, and then they just went back. Wouldn't mind for her just go full heel and see what they do with it. So, just give her some bit of an edge. So, but yeah, the match was fine, but it unfortunately just sort of it just felt kind of there in a match and in a card full of that was stacked. So
yeah. We had 2 trios matches here. I felt like they could have spread out the trios matches too. We got to this point in the show, I was like, well, you can't do 2 in a row. Like, you got a trios match, then a thing, and then another trio. They should have spread these out a little more. But yeah, we have Mystico and Jet Speed defeating the Callis family for the trios titles of Okada, Fletcher, and Mark Davis. Again, they were doing fun stuff and fun spots. I feel like the crowd was kind of in and out of the match, depending on if Mystico was in the ring because of all the Lucha fans at the show. Because anytime they did, they had Lucha stars and whatnot on the show, they were, all about it. Mystico and his weird entrance music, which I still feel is weird. That it's like a love ballad or whatever it is, when he comes out. It's just very strange. But the crowd, at least tonight, seemed to be into it, and some of them knew the lyrics. But a fun match with some fun spots overall. But I think again, you could feel the crowd was kind of getting a little tired. But some good sequences to end it. Yeah, that UFO splash that Kevin Knight did, 3/4 of the way across the ring and spinning around, while doing it was pretty damn impressive. But good stuff. But JBO, you're back. Any thoughts on some of the ones we talked about? The Moxley match or Tekla, Swerve, any of that kind of stuff? Anything you want to
touch on? Not to go too, I won't go too far into it here. No, I think Moxley Takeshi lived up to the hype. Good match there. Women's tag match was fine. Just a quick way to get the new champs over. Swerve and Brody's fun. I like that Lynch Chris. Actually, I thought I might have been a little bit bigger fan of that than it seemed like a Richie, from what I had heard. And then fun six man here. We got new champs, including confirmed All Elite, splitting his time between CMLL and AEW is Mystico. So he is somebody that we will see, on a pretty regular basis here. Which does makes me wonder, if he had lost, would they then have also announced he was all elite?
Hey, you lose, Mystico, but a consolation prize. You're all elite now. Hey.
We signed your losing ass. Yeah.
If I knew that ahead of time, I might have been.
Yeah, I think we had talked about that. That was part of our prediction. Was that we're like, well, Mystico's kind of a part-time CML. He's a part-time CML guy. How much is he going to really be? Well, he's all elite now. Well, son of a bitch. All right, if I know that, I might have picked him.
And I guess almost to be fair, those are another set of titles that can be ignored sometimes. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if we have like weeks to a month that they're not even defended.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Richie, any quick thoughts?
No,
we'll breeze through a few of these and then kind of get to the main event. Yeah, go ahead.
It was cool, Matt. A good showcase for all of them. I think Kevin Knight should be I mean, I like Jet Speed, the tag team. I think they're great, but like even both of them, even after if you saw the Mike Bailey Carl Fletcher singles match, which is fucking amazing. I think they're both kind of, as much as I like them the tag team, I think they should do more single stuff. I think they're destined to be kind of maybe get some mid card singles gold down the line. Not soon, but I would, I definitely could see one of them being TNT champion or national champion at some. And obviously it's always great seeing Mystico. But yeah, his intro is interesting. Probably fits more Andrade, who's like the Latin lover, right? He's like the Latin love.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of some, the Latin lover, Andrade, he took out Bandito, and another match that I thought was very good, and I think they at least did a pretty good job of kind of getting the crowd back, from being a little tired, at this point in the show. We talked about how this one could be, kind of a show stealer. I don't know if it like quite stole the show, but I thought it was another very, very, good standout match between these two guys. And we talked about how, Andrade needs more matches like this to remind people of like how good he is. And I think, putting him in there with Bandito, was a good idea to kind of showcase that. Fuck, man, Bandito is a really strong guy for a lucha dude, man. That spot where he did the 21 plex, but Andrade wasn't even leaning on the ropes. He was just on the ground, and dude deadlifted him, after the 21 plex into the German was like, man, that dude's really strong. He's a freaking major.
Yeah, man, I've seen that dude can gorilla press just on like with one, like he does that vertical suplex like with like the delayed vertical suplex for ages on like really big dudes, and like like the gorilla press with one arm. Like, man, they dudes are deceptively strong. But yeah, the match is really good. I actually think like I don't know if they're doing it anytime soon, but I feel like Andrade. I think the money with Andrade is as babyface. I think the crowd wants to cheer. Yeah, I think he'd be a huge babyface. I think I want to see him as champion at some point, maybe in a year or so. I think I think he's got more of a chance to prove himself here in AEW. And yeah, I think this match ruled. This would be my favorite match if the Takeshita match was on the card. But yeah, I thought this was I thought this was great. It was really good. I wish it was early in the card, so maybe a bit more pumped up. But it was good.
Yeah. No, even I was starting to get a little tired just even watching on screen. Yeah, at this point, especially with the next match. But I thought the next match, definitely could have been saved for like a Dynamite. This other trios match, Darby, Orange, and Roddy taking out the dogs of David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Clark Connors. David Finlay, did you make the right decision not going to WWE? I'm not sure about that. I have my trepidations given the fact that your first pay-per-view match, your team loses, you're a loser. I don't know, man. I feel like if that guy had just gone to NXT, and be like the second generation guy, like he'd be getting more over right now. I just have a weird feeling he's going to get lost in the shuffle. Richie, am I off with that? I just kind of have a feeling. I don't know.
Too early to tell, but yes, I wouldn't have had them lose.
I don't know how you bring these guys in as like this faction that was like that's a kind of an established, and they lose their first pay-per-view match. Why?
To a team that's not really a team. It's Darby, Orange, and Roddy doesn't even doesn't seem to like Orange. It's the whole thing. It's like I'm not, and then you got Darby, and they had a more, and then and then I don't know that Darby and then Darby and Gabe Kidd had a bigger match on Dynamite where you see it started off with Darby on the Dynamite. Darby chloroformed Gabe Kidd, threw him in the trunk of a car, and then the car rolled over, and this was the start of a coffin match. The match hadn't started yet, but yeah, that was more interesting than this. Yeah, I don't know why you'd have them lose. It's a weird booking decision. This felt like I guess because they're a new tag team, that's why in AEW, that's why it was on this card. But yeah, it's felt otherwise removed from that. This felt like a potentially a collision main event. But yeah, so you could probably not. Yeah, if I had to cut something, I'd probably cut this. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, the action was fine, but the result left me scratching my head.
Yeah, no, me too, for sure. And yeah, we got to our main event of the evening for the AEW World Title, a last chance Texas Death Match, which Hangman booked himself into as a babyface, which is stupid. I feel like Hangman also did some silly kind of dumb things as a babyface in this match, namely the dog collar thing. A, why you were winning, and B, why would you willingly then strap yourself to the dog collar? I don't understand. You could also take it off at any time. It's not like you were locked into it. This isn't an actual dog collar match. Like, you didn't have to keep it on. It was silly. Well, that even applies to MJF, where he's just like, oh, not again. Oh my God, this dog. Take it off. You don't have to wear it. It's not a dog collar match. You could take it off. The referee isn't gonna put it back on you. But I felt like it's like you could. I understand if you would have brought a chain out or something. He's used chains before. I get that. But yeah, having a dog collar chain just because MJF has a history of dog collars. I get it. Maybe for some shock value, if you want to do a spot or two with them, that's fine. But yeah, I felt like. It's the thing. Yeah, the babyface brings it out and it backfires on him. Oops, again, kind of silly for what it is. But yeah, I mean, MJF yelling at the camera that he's not going to do, indie bullshit, and then proceeds to do, broken glass and light tubes, and the skewers and everything. I guess he's doing it as to do as a champion. I get it. They did essentially the Mick Foley Rock Royal Rumble spot, going off the table, into some exploding sound equipment, sort of stuff, kind of similar to the I Quit match. And then both bleeding everywhere, and but eventually MJF again the dog collar backfires and he pulls essentially a Hangman spot where he kind of chokes him out sort of over the ropes and wins the match, so as Hangman passes out. So a wild and crazy main event. I mean, I do like MJF selling when he's having these crazy things done to him. He is fun to watch, kind of getting his ass kicked, but he's a good seller, he's a good worker. But yeah, I mean, I had thought maybe they would give it to Hangman just because the stipulation was so weird. Again, I hate when they put themselves into these weird corners of because this isn't the first time it's happened in AEW. We talked about how Cody did that, when Cody was there at AEW, Richie, he booked himself into if I lose, I can't challenge. Why would you ever do that?
But he's got an interview saying, that was probably a mistake.
Yeah, and I feel like this is going to be a mistake too, unless he's just gonna, just backing off the main event for other people right now. I mean, I'm sure they could book something to get out of it later, but again, it was a wild main event. It was, entertaining for what it was. The crowd did get into it, because it was so kind of crazy. But I also feel like I see main events like this or matches like this on almost every AEW pay-per-view where it's kind of losing its luster a little bit, where bringing out the staple gun again. Okay, and here's the glass in the ground. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just
that was the point I made up top of the show before we got into it. Is that I like what you've emptied all your, you've got no more bullets in the chamber, so to speak. You got what? How are you gonna? Else are you gonna top yourself? that people are just going to be numb to it. I'm like, that like you kind of, you kind of got to save stuff for other thing. I'm sure they'll find some creative way, but it's just like sometimes it's like But I just feel like they might have been doing, what should be really a crazy spot. There was just like crazy spots. So it was just sort of greatest hits from other matches that you said.
Well, we talk about. I mean, even with Page, can you ever really top those couple of matches he had with Swerve? Like, and how
No,
crazy those matches were? Yeah.
I mean, they the syringe thing here.
Yeah.
But like I saw the syringe thing with Swerve, and it was more gnarly. They did the where MJF was like had the spikes in his head, the spike thing, and he got a buckshot. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure Moxley did that with Page. Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah. So it's like it's cool to see, but like I don't know, man. Like you've it'd be cool to see it first time, but you've done it before, so I don't know how, and I think that's just an issue with AEW. What we talked about is just there needs to be also just a differential up and down the card. So some matches, while they're great, kind of just feel a bit samey, yeah. I mean, like this match was good. I don't get the stipulation because people are trying to say, well, yeah, but it builds up like you want to. That now you want to see, you want to see him fight back to try and find a way to get back to the title. I'm like, well, yeah, but like that would make sense if the heel kind of put that situation on him, but he did it himself, and so it's like, and then someone was chimed in, I think, when I was commented, and it's like, well, he could do it as Black Hat, like a heel, and I'm like, yeah, but then you shouldn't be rooting for him because he'd be a heel. So there's like, I don't know, like you sort of book yourself into a corner as to how he gets back to the title. I'm like, but it's weird with this Adam, like Hangman character is like every like title shot or journey to the title has to like be like has to have like these weird insurmountable obstacles. You can't just have a title shot and win and win. It always has to be like, oh, this got but like yeah, but this is even more silly because he put his own roadblock in front of him, and so yeah. Like it was a good it would be a great match if if this happened a few years ago and I hadn't seen it before, but yeah, it was still a good great match, but like it would be better if it was like maybe 2023 or 2022, and yeah, this felt fresh.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, overall, thoughts on the pay-per-view. Again, despite kind of our criticism of it being too long, as these shows tend to be, and part of that, Richie, might have been the fact that this is their first pay-per-view they had in like 3 months, so he just wanted to get a lot of shit in, So like, I get it. He wanted to kind of get some things going and set up some more stuff, kind of on the road to Wembley and whatnot. I get it, but still, I thought you had at least. No, I lost Richie. So I thought you had at least 4 like really, really good matches on here, maybe even a potential match of the year candidate or 2, because I would contend the Moxley and Takeshita match was a kind of a match of the year candidate, at least for me personally, because it's just my kind of stuff that I really like.
Sorry, didn't mean that. Didn't that.
Yeah, no, I'm just getting into kind of my overall thoughts. Because I thought you at least had 4 matches I was getting into. You had the FTR match, the Moxley match, the Bandito match, and to a degree even the main event, that were all really, really good. And in the case of Richie, you might be on my side that I at least an early, not that it will last to the end of the year, but at least for right now, Moxley and Takeshita is one of my favorite matches of the year so far. Like, that's one that I would go back and watch again. Just because it's kind of my style of match that I really like. Just 2 guys just kind of smash mouth on each other for the whole time, that I would go back and watch again. But still, like, a really solid pay-per-view. Like, yeah, it's a little long, but if you kind of you're able to watch it on a replay and break it up into some pieces and whatnot, kind of watch some stuff in a vacuum. It was really good. The crowd was good for the most part. You could tell they were getting tired, but I don't blame them for that. But the crowd was still mostly pretty hot and got into stuff. And you had some big moments. So overall, too long. Few matches that could have been cut here and there. But again, nothing egregiously bad, and you had some legitimately great matches on the show, and you at least got your money's worth as far as that goes. So I'd go a solid like 8 or 8.5. I thought it was a damn good show and a good way to kind of kick off their pay-per-view season. Richie?
Yeah, I'd probably go 8.5 as well. I think it was a really, really good show. They're just, we've talked about it at nauseum. They're just going to trim down the number of matches they have, and just maybe save them for like a special Dynamite or something, or Collision. But yeah, like really solid show. I'm sure. Yeah, we'll at least talk about a couple of these matches on that, like the best of the year so far, at least at the very least. And yeah, like a really solid effort, and yeah, and we come to expect from AEW that the actual in-ring action is always going to be top notch. So, and it didn't disappoint in that regard. So yeah, still a really good pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, good stuff. And yeah, I felt like I got my money's worth out of it at least there. So, yeah, we'll see where they go here. Like we said, a couple of weeks there'll be AEW Dynasty coming from Canada. Yeah, the week before WrestleMania, so we'll have a busy kind of week of wrestling because we'll have the that pay-per-view. We'll have the sort of at least this, I don't think we'll get it next year. So enjoy the other indie wrestling shows around WrestleMania while you can, Richie. That week, the ones that people are going to be running in Vegas, because I don't foresee all those companies bringing all their talent over to Saudi Arabia next year for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
so
it's still happening. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're second guessing. I don't know. We'll see. They're not gonna not do WrestleMania there, because from what I heard a number that they got paid like $200 million to have WrestleMania there, so they're not turning that money down. Holy shit, that's insane. But yeah, so enjoy all the WrestleMania kind of festivities while you can, kind of with the kickoff there. But yeah, we'll see kind of where they go and where we go in the future. And we'll talk about what we're gonna do next week. I know we might do some sort of things to kind of kill some time before Mania. We might get to JPO's next Rankum. We might do the 2000s tag teams. I think that'll be an interesting one, because both from the kind of WWE perspective, but also Ring of Honor. You can do some TNA, TNA emerging, some indie stuff. So we can definitely, that could be a lot of fun to talk about. I know in the future, maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, Richie will probably spin the WrestleMania wheel like we did last year. We'll get some WrestleManias on a wheel and just kind of maybe do a random one off the wheel, because we've reviewed 14 and 21 as far as classic ones. So maybe we'll put like 1 through 26 or something on there, minus those two, and see where we end up. Maybe minus WrestleMania 6, because we did that on Malcolm's show. Or 5 or whatever, the Hogan Warrior one, we did that. I will get rid of that one maybe, because we already did that. I can't watch those 15 matches again. No thanks. yeah. But yeah, so we'll kind of kick around a few of those ideas leading up to WrestleMania. So but yeah, let's wrap it up there and get these plugs. Richie, anything you want to throw out there?
Yeah, you can catch me and Pets on Wheel of Movies. The next week we'll be talking about Parasite. So that should be fun. Yeah, and then I'll be on I'll be on Recast.
Yeah,
coming up here soon as well. I've got my picks in. So
I'm the only one who does it, but it's fine. I can wait because I'm going back to the 80s, so nobody else is going back in time like I do. So Jordan has like one older pick, in his, but I'm doing my period piece thing, so I got more, different options. So that's fine.
Yeah, fair enough. And I'm also going to be on Austin's birthday tournament fights. The sort of the masculinity.
Muscles and machismo, aka the toxic masculinity bracket. Yes.
Yeah. So that should be fun. And yeah, Matt, I've also got stuff coming up in fandom. Got a match coming up from Matthew Chen. I've got I'll be on the Wrestling with Trivia tournament coming up soon. I think I'm facing Travis Fame in the first round, which that is a tall order. Stupid wheel. And and yeah, yeah, and yeah, and that, yeah, yeah, other than that, just yeah, you find me just pottering about, yeah, long time, first time, sometimes, and yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, sounds good. Yeah, I don't know where JPO ran off to, but
I know he did say in the chat that he wasn't feeling the greatest, so he might have just.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, he might be he have some issues. So no worries, no worries. So that's cool. Yeah, I'll plug his stuff for him. Yeah, I know, like you said, you touched on. Yeah, he's got a Wrestling with Trivia tournament going down or getting started. So yeah, you can check that out. I know the Pierce Co. Aren't they? They still got one more match in the tournament, I believe. Right, the finals is still coming up.
Yeah,
for the singles tournament. Is that Antonio Chavez and Will Cohen? I think, surprisingly, something like that. So I think.
Yeah. Or I think it might have already. I mean, yeah, I think that was that is definitely the match, or I think it just happened actually. So I think that was like I think that I remember seeing that video. So if it's up there, like I could be off base. Oh yeah, I'll find out. I'll find out what it is.
Yeah,
But
I know I saw him post like the final bracket with the finals. I can't remember if he did the match or not. I apologize, but if not, he recently did it. Yeah,
but yeah, he's got the Wrestling with Trivia bracket organized. Those matches should be filming soon. Yeah, so that should be fun. And then and then he does the teams. But yeah, he's always doing stuff. So yeah, all around the trivia space.
Yeah. No, like Richie mentioned, I'll be with him next week for Wheel of Movies for Parasite, which I saw. I got to do my rewatch in the theater 2 days ago, so that was fun because Ron had never seen it. So, and they played it at my Regal. That was cool. Anaconda Recast. I'll be hosting that on Monday. A little delayed on that, but we're getting to it. So, which oddly enough, it's still in theaters right now. Like, got re-released this week. Am I reading? Which is weird. Like, but they're only showing it at like 10 o'clock at night. Just it's odd, like really random. Yeah. I don't know what the occasion is there, but okay. So at least on the episode we can be like, well, maybe you can see it in theater still. The newer one. But yeah, we've got a couple tournament fights next week, including my birthday episode, which should be a lot of fun. Just it'll be all these wacky action movies of people spitting one-liners and showing off their muscles and kicking ass, one-man army kind of stuff. So that should be a lot of fun. That's how I'm going to judge the movie too. What's the most machismo movie ever? That sort of thing. That's what I'm judging it by. So yeah, that should be a good time. And then you can catch us back here next week. We might do that rank 'em next week. We'll see. I'll talk to JPO behind the scenes, see if we want to organize that. And then I think it's on TMG Entertainment, I think, is Aaron's still channel, but we're a little late to doing me and him with the worst of 2025, but we're getting there. We just taped part 1 tonight and we'll be taping part 2 next week. So if you want to see whatever my 12 through 22 was as well, in addition to my top 11, you can check that out. And I quote with Ryan Permison. We've got the month of Mission Impossible going on, so we're doing a commentary watch along tomorrow night for Ghost Protocol for the anniversary. So that movie's 15 years old already. That's kind of wild.
Oh yeah,
that long ago. Yeah. So time is weird. But we'll wrap it up there, and I'll have to tell you off air, Richie, what our me and Wolfman's next monthly mistake is, because it's my idea and it's going to be a doozy. So I'll have to tell you off there. We'll wrap it up there for now. For Lonely Marks, until we see you guys next week. So for JPO, for Richie Goodacre, I'm Austin Pezhel, and we'll see you guys next time.